black pepper, tick. A little dark chocolate, a little Halloween pumpkin, tick. You know what that means? It's time for another layering fragrance video. Good afternoon. Going to be another sort of weird layering video today. Thank you for those that have been enjoying these ones. I'm calling it science, but it's not really. Essentially, what you've just seen is I've got two different things. So I've got a chocolate Halloween ball, which we had no trick-or-treaters the other day, so I've been working through them, eating them, and also some black pepper. And I'm going to layer two fragrances today with those because essentially I want them to project a little bit more. So what are the fragrances I've got? Well, the first one I'm going to talk about, let's do the black pepper one first. It's a clone of Terre d'Hermès. Now, I've obviously got the original Terre d'Hermès. The performance on that is great. But this clone of it, I've been really disappointed by. It smells okay, but it just doesn't last. It doesn't perform that well. And it's more orange than black pepper. So what I'm planning to do today is add the actual fragrance note that I'm missing. I feel like it's missing to it and see if it can help improve its performance. So essentially I'm going to put some black pepper with this on my arm, smell my arm, compare it to just this fragrance on its own and see if it can just lift this fragrance a little bit more in terms of its performance. So that's the first one. The second fragrance we've got is this one here, Al Rahab's Choco Musk. I really like this one. I really like this one. It's got a very alcoholic opening though, very cheap, but essentially it just smells like milk chocolate baking powder. And yeah, that is why I've got this little chocolate ball with me, because I want it to be a little bit more chocolatey rather than that really strong alcoholic syntheticness that you do kind of get with it. Let's see if we can hopefully make this perform a little bit better as well. So yeah, that's the plan. Let's see if it works. I think it's important first of all to talk about the note breakdown of these fragrances, and hence why I'm adding those things, because it's not just black pepper obviously, and it's not just chocolate in Choco Musk. So the original Terre d'Hermès note breakdown is this. The top notes are orange and grapefruit. Orange is fine in this. The orange is definitely there. It's just that pepper that's missing. Grapefruit adds a bit of a fizziness, I noticed. Pepper, flint's in it as well. Yeah, I do kind of get that. There's this definitely earthy vibe. And then base notes, vetiver, cedar, patchouli, and benzoin. And then there's this pelargonium, which was in the middle as well, but don't know what that one is. So you notice how I avoided trying to pronounce it. But really what I'm hoping is that black pepper, I can get that to come through a little bit more. And what I've got is I've got the kettle next to me. I'm going to mix it in with a bit of hot water and hopefully it'll dissolve it better. So there's that one. That's the note breakdown for that. And then Choco Musk, if we look at the note breakdown for this, it is, if I can find it on Fragrantica, vanilla, chocolate, musk, spices, cinnamon, amber, sandal, oriental, woodsy notes, rose. That's essentially it. So it's a little bit of rose. I think the main thing here is vanilla, chocolate, and amber. And it definitely has that Arabic vibe. So we're going to add a little bit more chocolate to it as well. Just hopefully it'll take a bit of that stinging feeling away from my nose and just tame it a bit with a slightly more chocolatey baking tinge to it. So that's the plan. What I'm going to do then, I have boiled the kettle. I'm hoping that it's not too hot because I don't want it to be boiling hot water in this. And I'm going to mix it with a spoon and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Oh, I really want to just eat this, but I'm hoping it's going to just melt with the hot water in it. But I'm doing this one first because it'll take a little bit longer to melt. Honestly, do you find it difficult to get these things off at times? It's like Christmas, you know, the chocolate coins. I don't have the patience for it. Sorry, that's a really loud noise. Right, let's get the old kettle. I've got a bit of cold water as well, just in case, but I'm just going to pour that in. Take the spoon out. Pop that there. We've got the chocolate ball in there. We're just going to let that melt in there for a little bit as well. Looks a bit suspicious, that, doesn't it? But we'll leave that for a second while I do the black pepper. So let's get the other cup. I'm going to tip this in. Probably too much. There we go. So I've just put a little bit in. I don't want it to be too overpowering because I still want that orange smell. But there's a little bit of black pepper in the bottom. We'll just pour some hot water over it. And let's leave that there for a second. I'm just going to give that a little stir. Have you ever heated black pepper before? I don't think I've ever done that. Obviously, you just put it on food normally, don't you? Oh, that's an interesting smell. Now, it's not going to really dissolve this. You know, it's too grainy. It's too gritty for that. But as long as we can get a bit of that aroma to come out of it. Wow, that's got a real spice to it. That's really interesting. So we're going to leave that to sit for a second. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to rub this on my arm. How's the chocolate looking? It's not really dissolved yet, is it? Let's give it a bit of a... Oh, there we go. Give it a bit of a stir. That looks horrible, doesn't it? I've got to rub this on my arm in a minute. But wow, that smells good. Hot chocolate. If you like hot chocolate, that's all it smells like. It just smells like hot chocolate. And that's perfect because it's definitely got that vanilla in it. Because this is milk chocolate, they're not dark chocolate. That's going to go perfectly with this, with the vanilla. So what I've got to do then, I'm going to leave them just to sit for a little bit. I'm going to put the actual fragrances on now. I'm going to just spray. Essentially what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray the layering fragrance part of it here. And then maybe higher up my arm, or probably under here, because I'm going for a walk essentially today to see how long it lasts. I'm going to do that one under there, and I'll do the same with the other fragrances on this side. So yeah, we'll let that sit for a bit, and we'll get on with it. Let's do Terre on this side of my arm. So what I'm going to do, this is just going to be the bit where I just keep this fragrance essentially, so I can see the difference between the original and the bit that I've done the layering. So let's do sort of 3 sprays under here. Let's do a bit more. Do 7. And I'm going to do exactly the same over the top now. I'm just going to leave that to dry for a little bit. And then Choco Musk is going to go on this side. So this is going to be the non-layering bit underneath. I'm certainly not going to smell that because I know how strong that alcoholic blast is. So 7 sprays on both. Oh yeah, that's really strong on that. It's a lovely fragrance when it dries down, but nostril burner, 100%. Wait a couple more minutes, I don't want to burn my hand. Okay then, so it's time to rub this in. I've never thought a few months ago when I was doing training for ultras, I'd be sticking my fingers in a black pepper and hot water, but let's hope it's not going to burn the finger. Right, hopefully you can see that. I've got a bit of the grains of the black pepper on, so I'm going to rub. Oh, it's quite exfoliating that, you know, like those face balms. Right, let's keep going. Let's try and get a bit more out of it. Probably should have done this a little bit better than this, but there we go. Maybe I'll grab a tissue for the chocolate one. I'm a bit worried about the chocolate one. Okay. Right. Oh, I'm dropping it over me now. Can you see how black it's made my arm though? It's made it a lot blacker, isn't it? It certainly is a strong black pepper. Right. We're going to go on to chocolate. I'm going to grab a tissue for this because... Oh, that chocolate. That's still really hot. Oh, that smells so good. That just smells like hot chocolate. Right. Rub a bit of that on my arm. There's still a tiny bit that's not melted fully yet, as you can see on my finger. Right. Let's use a tissue now, because I want this to soak in. You can see how strong that discoloration is, can't you? Right, that's probably... Oh, I tell you what, this one's working well, I can tell. Right, I'm going to use the tissue for a bit of the black pepper as well now. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, can you hear that squelchy noise? Okay, what I'm going to do then, I'm going to give it 10 minutes, get ready for a walk, and yeah, we'll give my initial impressions before I go. Essentially, I've spent an hour and a half my walk today, so we're going to do sort of 2 or 3 sort of checks, maybe every half an hour or 45 minutes, to see which one's performing better, and whether it's lifted the smell, whether it's changed the smell of the fragrance, and whether I think you should really do this layering video. That's what we'll do when we get back. So yeah, I'll let that sit, let everything dry. Probably shouldn't have wet tissues near my computer, but yeah, let's get on with it. A bit of time's gone by now, about 15-20 minutes. It's time to smell my arms and just see if the fragrance is a little bit stronger with that layering, or is it the same? Has the fragrance changed in its smell? So we'll do the Terre clone first. So this is the bit with the layering. There might be a little bit more of a pepperiness. I'll be honest with you, I think what I'm kind of getting more than anything is I'm getting the fragrance just smelling like it is. But I think where my arm's wet with the fragrance, it's kind of brought it out a little bit. It's kind of, yeah, just uplifted it, because obviously I've put water on my arm, like sweat. where it was kind of in my pores, I just think it's brought it out a bit. But it's so gritty on my arm, it feels horrible with that pepper. But maybe there is a little bit of extra pepperiness. Let's just smell underneath, just the normal fragrance, just see if I can notice any difference. Well, if there's one thing I have noticed, that is not as strong. That's the first thing I would say. It almost smells like the layering one has brought a more zestiness to the orange. And again, maybe that's what the pepper does in this fragrance. You know, the original Terre d'Hermes, you really notice that pepper. It's really quite dominant, which is why I wanted to add it to this clone today. There's no two ways about it. I'm going to say this now. The fragrance doesn't smell a lot different in terms of the layering to this, but black pepper's not strong in its food form, let's say. But the fragrance is a lot stronger. So it's certainly brought out maybe a bit more zestiness. But again, whether that's just because I've put a bit of water on my arm or that's the black pepper, we may know a little bit more in a little bit when we go for a walk. Let's try this other side then. So Choco Musk, this is with the layering on. And then without. That is so much stronger. And actually it's not the real chocolate from that sort of chocolate pumpkin ball, whatever it was essentially, that's really come out. It's actually the vanilla, and it's definitely coming from that food. Wow. Again, I don't know if it's the water from it. I think the scent has changed. This has definitely become more vanillic than underneath my arm. This is a strong fragrance actually. It's quite strong on those initial blasts. It does fall off quickly, but with the chocolate rubbed on my arm, that's definitely brought out more vanilla. And I just wonder again if it's because it's watery, you know, that water I've essentially dabbed on my arm. I wonder if it's just brought it up a little bit as well. So that's lovely. That's really strange. It's like the peanut butter all over again, isn't it? Adding an actual food item, it's really working. It's certainly brought it out. It's certainly got that, taken that sort of ambery edge off it. It's become much more like chocolate powder. Love it, like a hot chocolate essentially. Right, what I'm going to do then, I'm going to go get ready for a walk, and yeah, we'll do sort of half an hour intervals. Let's see how much it changes. Very windy outside. Is it going to last as well? These original freshs are going to come out a little bit more, but yeah, what a study this is, let's say. Start with the Terre d'Hermes one, so let's smell the layering. Let's smell the general. Right, I can smell both, and if we're talking about sort of projection, if it was a scale, I would say the sort of layering one's about 75-80%, and then the other one's about 20% as strong. So yeah, it is definitely winning. I don't know why that is, but it's actually the orange that's coming out more. And again, I just don't know if it's the water or actually the pepper that's just really strong and it's bringing out that zestiness, because it certainly smells more zesty. And yeah, it's just very pleasant though, and it's certainly winning. So the layering is winning on that one. But the other one, I'll be honest with you, I've been smelling it the whole time I've been out, and I haven't even needed to look for it. It's just there, and I don't know. We'll find out now if it's the layering one. I'm sure it is. Let's roll the sleeve up a bit more. Hang on. That's so vanillic. Honestly, that chocolate is really, really kicking through. I can definitely smell it on there, but it's a lot more alcoholic. That chocolate, the actual chocolate, the little pumpkin, has certainly made it a more gourmandy fragrance. 100%. It's like I've rubbed hot chocolate on my hand, but you're definitely still smelling that Arabic vibe from Choco Musk, because it is an Arabic type fragrance. It's very pleasant. It's certainly again brought it out. And I think in that one, I've been having a little think, why would that be stronger? Is it because of the chocolate? I think what it is where it's sticky. Because obviously chocolate is on my arm, it's not very nice to be honest with you. It's really sticky on there, and it's almost like catching the fragrance, if that makes sense. So it's almost meant the fragrance is trapped. Because I applied the chocolate after, that fragrance can't really get out of my pores in the same way. So it's not, you know, I'm not losing its performance in that sense. And it's super strong, it's super pleasant. So yeah, at the moment, half an hour in, nothing's really changed. The layering has worked for both. For different reasons though, I really do believe that. I think it's definitely that pepperiness, because maybe it's more to do with the water that I've applied to bring it out and cleared my pores, and the other one just trapped the fragrance in the chocolate. So yeah, we'll see how it goes on the next half an hour. So yeah, next stop I'll go on stage 2 of my walk. Stage 2, and then smell my arm. It's been about an hour and a half since I've do them both at the same time this time. Right, I have to say, now my arms are warming up quite a bit. I've done walking for a little while. The Choco Musk is starting to become a bit more even, I would say. They're sort of levelling out. But still, that Terre MS clone, the one that's got the extra black pepper on, is certainly stronger. It's the same. It's still really zesty. The Choco Musk one's definitely more creamy vanilla still, but the original is coming through a bit now and warming up. What I would say, I'm going to add to this, and obviously being along the seafront, you know when you get like that salt on your face, it's really windy. Sometimes when you get that salt air in your face, it makes your skin feel really tight. With the black pepper on my arm, it's making my arm feel really tight, almost like I've got a plaster or cling film. You know that sunburn just makes your skin feel really tight. It feels like that, so it's not very nice. Then on the other side, as I was saying, where my arm's warming up, that chocolate's become really waxy. When I rub my finger along it, I can almost feel like clumps of melted chocolate coming out of my arm, so yeah, off my skin. So it's not very nice, not very pleasant, but again, can't fault it. It's very pleasant. I would say though, the actual chocolate now, it's still got a bit more vanilla, but it is starting to wear off a bit. It's starting to become more like the fragrance again, so the oils now are starting to shine through, and I'm getting more of that Arabic amber type vibe from this, the oriental element to it. So yeah, be interested to see another half an hour. Is it just going to smell like a stronger version of the fragrance? But it does feel like the fragrances are almost evening back out again. They're smelling more like what the original did. So yeah, we'll see in a little while. Nearly back now, so what I'm going to do one more sniff test before I do some final thoughts when I'm back. So let's do Terre first. Right, what I would say is it's now starting to lose its strength, and the problem is, I think because of the fragrance, and I've said this before, because the clone fragrance isn't very strong, once that goes, I don't think this pepper is going to really help anything. So what I would say with the pepper in terms of as a layering thing, you need a relatively decent strength fragrance for it to kind of bring anything else out of it. I think without the fragrance, this isn't going to really add anything at all. It's going to basically smell of nothing. And as I said, it's very gritty, so you wouldn't really want that. But maybe with another sort of stronger fragrance, that could just make it last that little bit longer. But yeah, I still think the actual fragrance here is key, because without that orange scent, and yes, it may have brought an extra zestiness to it, but without that scent, you wouldn't detect anything, I don't think. And let's just go for the clone, or Choco Musk, not the clone, I should say. Sorry, getting all sort of funny angles of me there. Yeah, it's still a little bit more vanillic, but it's drying. That chocolate on my arm is drying out a little bit, and it just doesn't feel very nice. It just feels like everything's blocked. And if I was doing exercise or whatever, yeah, I wouldn't really want it on there. I'm quite looking forward to washing my arm with that one, let's put it that way. But it's definitely still there. It's definitely bringing an extra added depth to the fragrance, but again, I don't think it's enough to really warrant it. And I think in a couple of hours, potentially the tables could turn. I think the actual fragrance might end up being stronger, because I think the oil will stick, whereas that chocolate is going to wear off over time, because it's not, it's not an oil, it's literally chocolate. What am I doing, honestly? Okay, so back from my walk, it's time to smell mine. It's been about 2 hours now, so we'll see if anything's changed. That's becoming more smoky now, and again, maybe that's because I was outside, everything smells a little bit different, but now I've come inside, it's definitely lasted longer. And I don't know if it's the pepper, I don't know if it's the water that I put on my arm, obviously with the pepper in it, but that is definitely stronger, and it's really brought this fragrance out. This now, I'd probably say before it would last about 2 hours before you couldn't smell it anymore. Now I'm saying this could last 3 to 4 hours with that pepper in it, but yeah, don't know why that is. It's very hard to tell. Right, Choco Musk, let's see how this one does. Yeah, that's really nice. The fragrance is definitely coming through more now, but it's definitely more vanillic, and it's not as alcoholic. And it's still stronger than the scent that was under my arm, the actual fragrance on its own. It's very bizarre, this, I have to say. Once again, the layering has worked. And again, maybe my theory for this is because it's when you spray a fragrance, of course, obviously the spray kind of it absorbs into your skin a little bit more. It goes into your pores essentially. And I wonder if with these, because I'm layering weird things on there and it's a little bit sticky, it's not the nicest thing to touch on your arm at times. It's a bit dry or, sticky. It's almost staying on the top. It's not absorbing in my skin. So when I'm smelling it up close like this, it's working really well. And I think that is what's happening. Essentially, the actual food ingredient that I'm layering the fragrance with is sitting much more on the skin. So when I'm putting it to my nose, that's why I'm detecting it. Now, of course, that comes with some limitations, as we've seen, as I've just mentioned. If I'm wearing like a white t-shirt or something, it's going to potentially stick to that. It's going to make it horrible and dirty. If you're sweating, it's going to block your pores. It just doesn't feel very nice texture-wise, essentially. And yeah, you don't really want that, do you? You don't want it to stain a top or just make it feel like your skin's blocked essentially because of chocolate or whatever. So that's the limitation of doing it. However, it does work. It definitely does work. So if you do want to try it, please try it and let me know your thoughts. And I definitely want to do it with some other things as well. But today, 100% it's been a success. Chocolate and pepper increases the longevity of these two fragrances. I can't believe I'm saying that. Do I recommend doing it though? I still don't. I'm going to do a few more of these because I know they are popular. I'm going to look at a couple of other things. So I want to do coffee. Coffee's definitely one. I think we could touch on some more fruits. If there's any fruits that you'd like me to try to add to fragrances, we can do that. I also want to do antibacterial hand gel. Now, antibacterial hand gel, 60-70% of it is alcohol normally. How does that change the fragrance? Obviously, hand gel smells horrible when it's on your hands. I don't like the smell. And it's obviously not perfume as alcohol. It's a different type of alcohol. So we can try that as well. I want you to choose, do you want me to do food items for the next one? Or do you want me to try hand sanitizer and see if that can improve the performance of any fragrances and hopefully not overtake the smell of the fragrance? So yeah, that'll absorb into the skin certainly better than this. But as for now, I can't wait to wash this off. Of course, when this washes off, it's not going to last as well as the fragrance. I'm pretty sure of that. As soon as I've wiped that chocolate off, if I was doing a shower or having a shower, I think actually this would suddenly become weaker than this. But yeah, interesting studies. They're working. These layering things for food are actually working and they're not making the fragrance smell bad by any stretch. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this one today. Yeah, what am I doing? It's a bizarre thing to do, but I'm enjoying doing it anyway. And hopefully you're enjoying it too. I'll catch you later.